What's up, everybody? Bdf 44 coming at you with another video. All right, so getting out the house, gonna do some grocery shopping. Been kind of stuck in the house again for a couple of days. I don't think I left the house on Friday. Kind of wasn't feeling that great. Saturday I was wiped out, did not have any energy at all in the daytime. It got so bad that I put on all my clothes, told myself I was leaving the house, starting to put on my shoes, and was just had to put my head in my hands. I felt so tired. So it was one of the situations where, like, I knew my body was telling me, yo, there's something not great going on inside of it. Let's get some rest. And so that's what I did. I went and got some rest, woke up, and then worked out. So, you know, Saturday was like uncomfortably non-productive, in the sense that I had every intention of getting out, felt like getting out, but it was hot, and I had been ill, more or less. And this stomach issue, I'm starting to think that it ain't really allergies per se. It's more so something that has to do with my stomach not reacting well to things that hold a certain level of strength. Anything that has a certain level of strength. So, for example, on Friday, while staying home, I had already not really feeling that great, but I got up and did my workout, my Hunter's Blue workout. Since I had been slacking on that, I wanted to make it a point to do it, and I've done it for the last 3 days. On Friday, when I did it, I ate oranges. I must have ate like 4 oranges. My stomach reacted so poorly that I now have come to realize that even when I was telling y'all that the lady at the front desk had brought me some oranges and I ate them to try to overcome my sickness, it might not have been the tea that made me sick. It was probably the oranges. And so what I did was, after eating those oranges and loved them, I bought some more this last time I went grocery shopping and loved those too. So I was eating them like crazy. What had made me sick at that point was the oranges. And what I've come to understand is, the next time around, when I ate so many oranges on Friday, Saturday I was sick. That's what it was. And when I didn't eat any oranges on Saturday, all the food had digested. I come to find out that I'm not really all that sick after not eating oranges. So deductive reasoning tells me, yo, it was the oranges that made me sick. And so certain things of a certain strength, oranges, garlic, if it goes into my body, it's gonna disrupt. I may not actually be allergic to it, but it is going to create some problems, some very, very serious ones. And so that's what I've come to believe. And as I go forward, I just think that at the end of the day, I got to try to be careful not to put certain things in my stomach of a certain strength, as hot foods, things that hold a lot of potency of any kind. If it ain't mild, completely mild, it can create some serious issues for me health-wise right now. And so that's what I'm believing is actually going on there. I am allergic to milk and all that. I am lactose intolerant, no question. But like some of these other things that I've been saying I've been allergic to, I don't know if it's more so allergies, or I probably just got some type of ulcers or something that get negatively affected by these types of foods. And so that's what I think is going on there, if I'm being honest. But I won't know nothing until June, when my doctor's appointment comes around. It is now almost mid-April, so we're a long way away from knowing anything. But these last 3 days were tough, and Saturday was ridiculous. But after I got my nap in on Saturday, I got up and did more workouts, Hunter's Blue workouts, as I had already said. And yesterday, I got it in yesterday too. I didn't feel as bad yesterday at all either. I just had the Laker game to deal with, and Bible study, which actually we postponed, but I didn't know that throughout the course of the day. So the Laker game was at 12:30, and then Bible study was supposed to be at 4:30, so I just didn't have an opportunity to really go anywhere. The game ended, did my little Laker video, and it was almost time for Bible study. So yeah, that we didn't have Bible study allowed for me an opportunity to do my Hunter's Blue for a 3rd day in a row. And I think because of it, my conditioning feels much better, and I'm ready to get out and do this grocery walk. I feel good, and I feel well rested, and that's what I can say, man. But I believe I have some type of ulcer issue. I believe it's that type of thing that I got going on, to be honest with you. My mother had them as well too, so I think it might be something that's in my genes. genetically, whatever however you say that. But yeah, man, it don't cause me a whole lot of pain. It really don't, but it does wipe me out. I will say that. Tired as hell, man, when I have these issues. So that's what I can say, man. It was just Saturday was just like one of the first days in my life where I legitimately wanted to move, but my body was telling me if I go out, I might actually faint, like literally. and it makes sense for all the oranges that I ate, because I put a lot of them on my stomach. So if your body's rejecting something and you eat an absorbent amount of them, yeah, you gonna have problems. And so that's what it was for me, man. I was not well on Saturday. So yeah, man, just keep pushing forward. Like I said, I feel great right now. And because I try to exercise as much as I do, whatever stomach pains I have, it just feels like more pain, to be honest with you. It don't feel that much different than you do when you're doing a bunch of crunches. And since I do those daily, I can't really tell the difference with the pain. In fact, a lot of times when I'm having the issues I'm having, there is no pain. So that is the truth, man. But I think the meditation that I also had allowed for me, the time I rested allowed me meditation, is what I'm trying to say. And I was at a whole lot of peace this morning. I prayed a lot last night before I went to sleep, prayed a lot this morning. God was giving me ideas of how to, keep peace in my life and to just redirect my thoughts, positive chants and things like that I've been telling y'all I've been doing for a long time, man. It's just positivity. You got to offset the natural negativity that's going to be coming into your head with social media and all this different stuff that comes into our skulls. Sometimes you just got to chant positive things into your heart constantly to offset that. And it may seem strange, but if you consider how much negativity is being placed upon you naturally in the world through music, through just whatever the world has promoted toward you, it makes all the sense in the world when you really think about it. It's like, yeah, in our society, you may seem strange if you run around saying, I love myself, I love God, I love the world 160 times. But when you consider how much negativity is actually being placed into your head, or how much godlessness is being put into your head by what it is you may hear on the internet, on the news, or whatever, essentially the other side of that is that you're being told all these negative things 163 times. So how do you offset that? Meditation and chants of positivity and things that will bring you the peace that ultimately the world is going to deprave you of. And so that's what I was meditating on last night. Sometimes it don't take a whole lot, and you meditate, the Lord will provide you what to say to welcome that retraining of the mind and the saturation of negativity out of your mind. He'll put that into your mind through meditation, and that's what he was doing, giving me certain things to say. Like, these are words of the Holy Spirit. Return them to me as often as you need, and you will feel peace. And so that's what I was doing. All last night I was saying the same things, the words that were put in my heart to say over and over again. And sure enough, I woke up feeling about as much peace, spiritual peace, as I have felt in a very long time this morning. And so that's something that really just allowed for me to be kind of floating on cloud 9 right now, just moving like everything is right with the world, even though there's plenty wrong. And to a point, I had been very frustrated over the last 3 days with my health being as it was, and just feeling a little stagnant in certain areas as well. Just not being pleased with certain things. And I was telling God, my intention is to praise you through this. I'm not unhappy more so than I am just frustrated. And I know that usually when I'm feeling this way, it turns into unhappiness based on how I handle it. But now that I know how to handle things better, let me turn to you in praise to offset what's naturally uncomfortable for me, the discomfort I've been feeling, and allow for you throughout the course of however many hours ahead to turn this thing around, because I know that's what works. And you may not work instantly as it pertains to, I need to feel better, please help me God, but give it about 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 hours or whatever, and you will see him work in you. And so that's what I allowed to be possible last night. Throughout the course of a few hours, I just decided after doing all my exercise that I was going to meditate and specifically offset my natural irritated feelings with positivity and meditation. And sure enough, I woke up feeling significantly better because of that investment in my positivity. So that's just, a little experiment, man. Sometimes the Lord will give me ways of experimenting on how to make myself closer to Him and invest in my own betterment mentally. And I already know what it looks like when I do things the wrong way. That's what I can say. I already know what it looks like when I handle those things, quote unquote, my way or the world's way. I end up feeling worse. I end up getting more distracted, getting further away from God. Maybe even my behavior changes, going toward the wrong things. I just want to try the right way, try things differently, try to use what is now been suggested to me over the last couple of years, which is to invest in positive thinking and invest in meditation and doing the opposite of what comes naturally, which is complaining. It's easy I feel unhappy, I'm going to complain. How about you feel unhappy and you're still going to be thankful? You look for things to consider in the moment of being unhappy or being frustrated or being irritable that considers the blessings that you have. I am not in significant pain. I am not in a space where I don't know where I'm laying my head down tonight. I am not in a space where I just got fired from my job. I am not in a space where I just had my heart broken. You know what I mean? So that the cognizance of the things that you should be considering, that you are appreciative of otherwise, is in the forefront of your mind when you're feeling most uncomfortable or irritated or whatever the case may be. And so that's what it is to give God glory while you're feeling your most negatives. And see, don't He turn your appreciation for what you're considering and your intention to offset what comes naturally to you in a negative light into something that makes you significantly more happy than you otherwise would have been if you just let that shake off naturally. And you see it as an opportunity to get close to God and appreciate the journey that provides. And so that's what I was meditating on last night, and I woke up with so much more peace after having about 3 days of slight to moderate irritation. Just irritable about my circumstances, irritable about being in the house, irritable about my energy not being where it needs to be, just irritable about a lot of little things that came together to make me unhappy. It was very easy to complain, but I wanted to try something different. And so that's what I want to say to all of y'all, So yeah, that's pretty much how it went, man. And now I move forward on my day and open-minded to things being as peaceful as they've been over the last 10 hours. I felt like the enemy was trying to get in my head. I woke up in 3 in the morning and I heard a voice say some things to me that were not positive. It wasn't necessarily my voice. I might have been hearing somebody speaking downstairs so slightly, something like that, but it was negativity pointed in my direction. And I was saying to myself, this is a result of you chanting the words that the Lord put in your heart to chant. The enemy is especially irritated with this process today. Normally when I meditate, I don't really feel like something's trying to get in, so to speak. Something's trying to get in my head and try to disrupt me. I don't feel like that happens very often. But last night, more than once, I felt like, something's trying to suggest to me things to be unhappy about while I'm trying to offset this natural born negativity. Something's trying to suggest to me to be unhappy or insecure or to look at my situation and see the negative aspects of it rather than to continue on this process of offsetting this natural frustration. Something's trying to make me more frustrated or distract me. And so I just tell you that this was working spiritually. This was working. All of what it is I was doing last night was giving me a great deal of positive spiritual, what's the word? Reassurance, I guess is the word I'd be looking for. It's a lot of that that was coming my way as I was moving in the direction of trying to offset that negativity. And of course the enemy would try to attack. You'd be sitting in silence by yourself with nothing distracting you, and the enemy will still try to insert something into your space from which to consider to offset your intentions. And so that's what I want to tell people. With spiritual warfare, the devil wants you distracted. He wants you only happy about the things that he gives you for a limited amount of time until it's meant to turn on you. He wants you to be in danger. He wants you to do a lot of things that are going to bring you away from God instead of strengthening that relationship with God. But your strengthening of the relationship with God is an investment in your overall health, mentally, spiritually, emotionally, physically, your overall health. And there are things that are going to come down the line in your life as you had things catch you off guard in the past in your life that are going to require you to be close to God already when those things happen, so that you can handle those things with the right amount of grace, the right amount of worship, the right amount of positivity, etc., to get through it. And that's what the Lord was telling me this morning. It's like this relationship in God is not just to make God happy. It's to properly prepare your heart and your mind for things that are coming down the line that are going to be best utilized if your relationship is as close as you're going to invest in it to be. And so this is what he wanted me to share with all of y'all. At that relationship with God, a lot of the stuff that we promoted in regards to religion is based on us making God happy so that he doesn't punish us. But your closeness with God in that relationship is not about making God happy only. It's about him being able to be close enough to prepare you for what it is that's either coming your way or what it is that he ultimately wants to help you avoid. And that's what came to me last night. There's certain things that if he ain't got a relationship with you, he can't tell you to duck when something's about to drop on you. He can't tell you not to go down that street because you ain't going to listen. But if you invest in that relationship leading up to that moment, if your relationship is so tight with God, he's going to be able to reach you right away. And that guidance is essential to your life. It's essential to the life of others who are going to be affected by you as you make decisions that affect them. And if we start to be more cognizant of his guidance and how to better listen to that voice, or better have that voice be reciprocated in our subconscious and our conscious minds, we'll be more likely to be better people in a lot of different areas for not only ourselves but for others. And this is why you want that relationship to be tight. This is why you want to offset the negativity, because that negativity is meant to distance you from that relationship. It's meant to make you stumble into circumstances that are worse for you. It's meant to make you choose the wrong partner and stay with them for a long time to waste your time. It's meant to make you do that thing that's ultimately going to have you thrown in prison or have you crashing out. This is what the world and its repeated suggestions into your head is essentially meant to do, is to pull you away from that for which is your guidance towards your best decision making. And then you find yourself lost, you find yourself uncertain, you find yourself without your tools that you need for whatever your task is. A lot of us find ourselves in depression, wanting to quit on life because we didn't listen to that voice inside of us, because we didn't have that relationship with God. And as a result, we end up finding ourselves in those circumstances that ultimately we hate ourselves for in a lot of cases, or losing those dignity battles as we often talk about. This is why you want that relationship with God, not just so that he doesn't punish you, but that he can protect you from unnecessary sadness, mistakes, destruction. And so that's what he wanted me to understand. Like, you gain a great deal of guidance, a great deal of reassurance from within myself, investing in God. God can always invest in us, but if we're not reaching back It's only but so much we, along with the suggestions of the negativity that comes naturally in the world toward our minds, is going to allow him to come in and be more powerful than those energies. And it's important that he be more powerful than those energies in your head. So that's really what it is, man. That's exactly what it is. And I think that relationship, as I continue to invest in that relationship, is becoming more and more helpful in my journey. Not only in my journey as in walking around and doing all the things that I do, but also in having the right content to share with you all, the most responsible content, and displaying myself in ways that are appropriate for whatever's ahead. You know, one of the things I was thinking about, I think it was Friday, this came into my mind, is I asked the Lord to prepare for me for what's ahead, not for what's in my head. And so I wanted to leave y'all with that. Bdf 44. I thank y'all for watching. I'm out.